On February 2nd, voters who live in the Waterloo Schools boundary will be asked to approve a $47 million funding plan for a proposed career technical education center and high school renovations. The outcome will impact the future of education in the Waterloo Community School District. I'm Elwin Huffman. Joining me today is Waterloo Schools Superintendent Dr. Lindaman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, the purpose of this program today is to educate the public on the details of the referendum before they cast their ballots on February 2nd. And while there is no known opposition groups renouncing the bond referendum, our policy as always is to remain neutral while providing information that's important for the general public to make an informed decision. Having said that, Dr. Lindaman, what are voters in the Waterloo Schools boundary deciding on February 2nd?
Right. The voters on February 2nd will be going to the polls to determine whether Waterloo Schools can build a career center to house 30 career technical programs to be phased in over years, and also whether we can do the renovations at East and West high schools. So that's what the vote is about. It is a $47 million bond referendum, and the public will make a determination whether we can proceed with that.
So 100 community members, district staff, and business leaders made up the task force, which met and visited comparable districts nationwide that offer a variety of innovative programs during the past 3 years. The group developed a number of options for the Board of Education to consider. Why technical education? Why is that the best option for the Waterloo School District?
Yeah, this group of community members and staff that worked on this, again, it was about 100 people. Over the years, when we first started this in January of 2012, I don't think that we knew exactly which program we wanted to bring. We traveled all over the United States looking at options in districts high schools that were doing better than we were. And so it wasn't too far into our travels that we really focused on technical education. It works really well when you live in a community that has business and industry readily available to hook to. And so we focused on that. It was giving kids a jump start on their life after high school. It was it was highly engaging. It was keeping kids in schools, and just quite honestly, it was great for the economic development of the community. And that was just something we just thought it's really good for the community, and it's really great for our kids. So that was why we focused on technical education.
What's the impact on, number one, the students, number two, the staff, and number three, the community? Yeah,
the impact on students is really that they end up being more prepared. They get a chance to try out careers while they are in high school in a very low stakes environment. Often kids will go to a college and they think, oh, I'm going to figure it out, or I might have an idea, but if I change majors, I'll just have to do that. And so really what kids do is they get a chance to be more prepared. It very much engages kids. We've visited with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids through interviews who are in programs like this, and the way they talk about school is they are so engaged. Their attendance is huge. 98% attendance on average in the nation for kids who attend programs like this. The graduation rate is very high nationally. The graduation rate for kids who are in programs like this is 92% on average. And so we know that if we can keep that many kids in school, we can keep the kids engaged and better prepare them. That's a great benefit to them. You also asked about the staff. The impact on staff is really, we do have 26 teachers right now who teach programs like this, and we will take those 26 teachers and they will certainly be teaching in a new location in the Career Center, and they're going to need some new skills. They may be right now teaching kind of a multitude of classes. If they teach 8 periods, they may teach multiple different things. We're really going to ask them to kind of specialize, because instead of teaching just the kids in their building, they'll be working with kids from all across the district. So they'll have, kind of specializing a little bit more. Our teachers are really excited. We've been working with them for a long time. For some teachers, they really won't see a difference. If you are a math teacher, a science teacher, one of the core subjects, maybe band or foreign language, you'll still be teaching in the high schools where you are right now. Kids will still be taking those classes too. And the last one, I think you said the community. The impact on the community, when we explored that, it really had significant impact on the community. We had opportunities to visit with business people who had connected with the schools. It really was, a great return on investment. We're looking for a safer community. We know if our kids are graduating from high school at a greater rate, it gives them a more promising future. If they don't honestly, if kids don't graduate from high school, there's really not a lot out there for them. They can't land a job. They're more likely to be on public assistance. Quite honestly, more likely to get in trouble. We have incarceration rate and graduation rate. There's a high correlation of people who are incarcerated and don't have a high school diploma. I'm not saying one causes the other, but we have to do better for kids, and so we want to make it. We stronger schools, stronger community. That's been our mantra all along, and we believe that the schools certainly, how we're doing will. People judge the community by how the schools are doing. That's certainly a piece of the formula. We want to do better, and we believe that it would increase property values and just make a stronger community.
The task force, some of the members, if not all, visited a career center in Des Moines. I understand that's one of the rare career centers available here in Iowa.
Right.
What's the benefit of that career center as opposed to like a regional high school center?
Well, in Des Moines, we traveled all over, and we did really look at a lot of different career centers. But the one in Des Moines, there's really only just the one, like you mentioned, in Des Moines, and it's kind of been a good model for us. One of the things that it has done for Des Moines is they've really drawn kids from around the areas. They're not just serving Des Moines kids; they're serving actually kids from districts in 29 other districts. And so, of course, if the kids come to the which is Central Campus, that's the name of it in Des Moines. If kids come, of course, their funding would follow for a portion of that. But we see that this could be a great access. It could give kids access right here in the Cedar Valley. If you are in one of our neighboring districts, perhaps those kids will come for a portion of the day because this will be offering them opportunities that may not exist in their current high school.
Allow me to play the role of devil's advocate here for a minute. Some of our listeners may be saying, let the students go to Hawkeye Community College or the University of Northern Iowa or Upper Iowa University. That's what those institutions are for. What's your response to that?
Yeah, we've worked with the University of Northern Iowa and Hawkeye Community College. Matter of fact, people from there, the president of Hawkeye Community College actually sat on our committee with us, and so Linda Allen was with us. Dr. Allen was very helpful in framing this up so that it was an extension, so that it complements what they are offering. It is not the same. This is what leads kids up to going to the college, and University of Northern Iowa has done the same thing. People may have read recently in the Waterloo Courier front page that Hawkeye Community College and University of Northern Iowa actually supported and have publicly supported this. They believe that it will help kids come to them more focused, maybe ruling out some things that they don't want to do, maybe solidifying what they do want to do. Nationally, Owen, the retention rate at a university is 37% of the people who enroll actually complete. That means 63% don't complete nationally. So that's a staggering number, and so 63% don't finish their degree. They don't have a degree, but they do now have debt, and they may have to go back and get some other training. So we want to help kids choose wisely so that it helps them be more focused and increases their enrollment and helps at the post-secondary institutions. Kids are just better prepared.
When voters go to the polls for the special election on February 2nd, $47 million bond issue will be on the ballot. The price tag to build the new center next to Central Middle School is estimated to be about $35 million. The remaining $12 million, that's for planned renovations at both East and West high schools. What upgrades are planned for those two facilities?
The dollars spent at East and West would be used to provide air conditioning. We have some lighting issues. We need to replace windows, tuck pointing, and at East High School that we have some parking lot renovations that would happen with those dollars.
The athletic programs at those two schools, how are they impacted with a yes vote?
Yeah, the athletic programs, some people may have heard that one of the facility options that we did consider was possibly merging East and West under one roof. That was not the option that was selected. So really the athletic programs at East and West may remain intact. So it really doesn't impact them, although they do get to use the facility that has air conditioning and the new renovations.
Talk about the unique funding model. And when I say unique, it It's unique to Waterloo. It's not unique to other districts in the state of Iowa. How does it differ from, say, the commonly used property tax levy?
Right. The committee really listened to the public, and one of the things we heard, about halfway through our studies, where people were telling us, we really would ask that you consider not completely funding this through property tax. A lot of times bonds are funded through property tax, and actually the law says you have to fund it through property tax. But the unique piece of this is that the board committed, and actually they've passed a resolution at our last board meeting, to offset any property tax increase with the institution or by using a 4% income surtax. So they'll contribute $8 million. The district has $8 million that we will use at minimum to fund this project. The $47 million, bringing it down to $39 million. It would take a 4% income surtax to fund those dollars. That's actually calculated, on an Iowa individual income tax. So people can look at what they pay to Iowa at the end of the year, and it would be 4% on that. We have done, for the listeners, they may be interested to know what the average person would pay. We've checked into that, and the average person pays $1,330 to Iowa income tax. So 4% of that would be $53 additionally that would go to fund this project. So the average person would pay $53.
Technical education isn't completely new to the Waterloo School District. Back in the 1990s, Bunger Middle School in Evansville was briefly turned into a technical school, but closed due to costs. A two-part question here, Jane. How does the proposed Career Center differ from Bunger School of Technology, and will the district be able to afford the new Career Center if voters say yes?
Yeah, that is really a great question, and I've visited with our community many times about that. And here's how it's different. First of all, Bunger School for Technology actually was in itself kind of a self-contained high school. So they had, and I wasn't in the district at that time, but in reading information about that, it looks like they had around 200 students. So it had a minimal enrollment, and it was kind of a self-contained. Students went there that was their high school. And so similarly, it did have some of the programs that was focused on giving kids hands-on experience. So that's one of the ways that it's alike. To clear up misconceptions, it was closed really truly not due to the cost of that program, but it was due to grave financial issues that existed long before Bunger School for Technology actually even opened. So it was probably there were some issues with the sustainability, maybe not well thought out at that time. What we've learned from that is to make sure that we have thought through for years to come, when this opens, how will we make sure that it stays open forever, for a really long time, to make sure that it's sustainable. So we've spent a lot of time working on that. Interesting, I've talked with some parents who had their students attend even for that 1 year that Bunger was open, and the parents were so supportive, the students were so supportive that they fought to keep it open, which is a testimony to the type of instruction that happens in that type of a center.
If this Career Center opens, Jane, when I was in high school, for instance, they offered auto shop classes. They offered industrial technology. I think there's a culinary program now at East.
Right.
Do those programs remain at the high schools, or do they move to the new Career Center?
Yeah, primarily they would move to the new Career Center. There would be some programs, maybe the introductory level. There will be some opportunities for kids. Usually the younger students, 9th and 10th grade, might want to try out some programs. We've watched carefully to see what is the best way to boost your participation in career and technical centers. One of them, one of the ways is to make sure that you have amazing opportunities for kids to try out the program. There's a good analogy that somebody mentioned, and it makes a lot of sense to me. If you go to a restaurant, if you don't know something's on the menu, you're probably not going to order it because you don't know it's an option. We need to make sure kids know what's on the menu. They need to get over to the Career Center. They need to try it out. They need to explore some of the classes as a 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader, 9th grader. Maybe they go and try out all 30 programs for a brief amount of time, and maybe they get to go back and try out another 10, retry 10 of them, and kind of whittle that down so they know what truly interests them.
Why should voters say yes on February 2nd?
Yeah, it's been proven. Technical education across the nation is absolutely proven. I've already mentioned some of the statistics: 92% graduation rate, high student attendance, high engagement. Kids go on to college at a greater rate. This is supported in our community. The task force has done their homework. We have worked on this. This is not just an idea that we thought of in the last 6 months and we're bringing it to voters. We have been working on this for 4 years. It's well thought out. It's very well planned. We have paid attention to sustainability of this program, and it truly will not only benefit kids, but it will make a stronger community.
The vote coming up on Tuesday, February 2nd, voters have a decision to make on the future of education in the Waterloo Community School District. They're being asked to approve a $47 million bond issue that would finance construction of a new career center and also pay for renovations at both East and West high schools. Gina, our time is limited here today, and I know there's much more information available to the public online. If anyone wants more details on the upcoming referendum, where can they get it?
Yeah, certainly if they go to the Waterloo Schools website, everything that we have passed out at meetings is available online. There are videos. There's an amazing frequently asked questions document which has 50-some plus questions that we've heard out in the community, so people can really get a lot of information there. And if they have other questions, please call the district and they will direct you to somebody who can call you back and answer your questions.